Hello, this is Skate36, and it's Halloween. So I thought I'd do something a little festive. You see, before you can read this warning. So, take heed. This is going to be an analysis of a game coming out next year called Agony. And it was uploaded by Agony Game, which is the channel for the Kickstarter. And it's a Kickstarter game, but it looks really good. Here's the thing. Your character is in hell, and this is some footage of, I guess, the first area, or the first ring, or, well, I'll get into that later. Point is, excuse me. I just thought I'd showcase an analysis that I did earlier. I watched the video and I noticed several things that probably fly by, and I got some of my own theories about the game as well. So without further ado, let's get on with the show. Oh yeah, and also, all rights are reserved for the team behind Agony, and that's just a quick disclaimer. So I'll probably put a disclaimer down in the description. So let's go with this. There, notice these people with the bags on their heads. These are just your typical, and notice how it says talk. It seems there's a line that goes through there. I don't know if that's just an effect, or if it's that you can't talk to these certain people. So yeah, just getting that out of the way there. Might be a bit hard to see, because I'm doing this with my camera phone. Yeah, it's going to be a little hard to see at times, but for important things, I'll get it closer to the screen and try and get some more detail. Notice at the top there, it says, I don't know if you can read it from the phone, but it says, find a way to possess chained demon. Now, why it says this, seems to be a possession system in the game, and it's going to be a main point. So yes, I'll be getting more into that later. So this area here, let's just call it Limbo, or the first ring. We're going by Dante's Inferno, or the Divine Comedy, whichever you prefer to call it. But yes, we're going by this because I'll get into the examples later. But yes, we're calling it the first circle for various reasons. And right here, we're about to see him pick up a golden statue. He'll collect a couple more of these throughout. They're called goddess statues, and you collect them. And you see across from there is a demon. You just saw it. And about these, there's in the back there, if you notice on the wall as well, there seems to be like teeth, and you'll see several more of these teeth later. And in the back there, I'm going to try zooming in. There we go. It seems to be some kind of, it looks like a woman's torso, or parts or part of a woman, and and I'll go more into this later as well. But yes. All right, let's get on with. That was just something I thought I'd point out. And a lot of flashing. So if you got. It says to avoid being detected, hold your breath and use crouch. It seems we're playing with. Because it's got L2, it seems this is on the PlayStation 4. Or at least they're using a PlayStation 4 controller. Or a PlayStation controller hooking into a computer. One of them. I believe it's for the PlayStation 4 though. It's going to be for Xbox One, PlayStation 4, and PC. So, I'm assuming they already got the PlayStation. And this is mostly going to be a stealth game. This makes me figure it's going to mostly be a stealth game. Because you have to sneak around the enemies, and like here, there's going to be a demon. This demon was, you'll get a better view of it later, so I'm not going to worry about zooming in or anything now. It was already showcased in the first trailer for it. So, yes. Yes. There it is. Except this one is smaller than it was in the first video. And it'll go back towards it. Yes, that one's a lot smaller than the one they originally showed, at least in my opinion. Being smaller, maybe, I don't know, I guess in the first couple of videos they just wanted it to be bigger because maybe they were intending it to be one enemy instead of bunches of different demons. But I don't know. We'll know when the game comes out. So anyway, there's another one with the bag over its head. Also, I think that line there is just an animation for the button. The one playing the game didn't try to talk to any of them, so I guess it's not something that's finished yet. I mean, this game looks freaking amazing. So one way or the next, it's... And here we have, on the wall, it took me a while to get this, but on the wall, it actually is a bunch of open mouths. And you just heard that. And here's another interesting thing. You have a place to hide. So, again, kind of alluding to the fact that it's going to be a very stealth-oriented game. And you can even hold your breath. So, the fact that they can hear you breathe adds another element to the game. I mean, I guess being a spirit, you can't... I guess being in hell, being dead, being a spirit, you can't... It's just something there that's... I don't know how the breathing works, but either way. And here it seems you'll have to look around and climb. There are certain places where you can climb. Yes, a lot of disturbing imagery. They definitely didn't skimp out on any of that. And this comes a part that I'm going to mention this. The reason I called it Limbo earlier is because, or the first circle, I think it's going by the Dante's Inferno or the Dante's Divine Comedy, whichever, whether you want the book or the game. Either way. Like, there we see a baby. It's deformed. It looks like it's had, I mean, in the book, The Divine Comedy, The first ring was used for unbaptized babies and those who lacked faith to get into heaven. So I believe this is the case. This is why I believe it's going to be going by the rings of hell kind of philosophy. And this person here, I'm going to hold it up for a second. This person here isn't like the ones earlier with the bags over their head, like the generic. He's different. I actually thought long about and hard about this one. Like, and look at his actions next. He seems to be trying to wall it up. He's not just sitting in a corner. He's not praying. He's not crying or anything like the other ones are doing. He's actually trying to board himself up. He's actually trying to make a wall between him and the demons, it seems. And I guess the baby was just mortar. If you notice the place, mentioned earlier that there were teeth and various other body parts and hands sticking out of the walls. This whole place seems to be a living organism, or it was made of millions of bodies. And there's plenty of other bodies around here. So I believe that there's two right there on screen. So yeah, I believe he's different from the others. He hasn't lost hope yet. Or at least he's not... Or I don't know how it's going to work with the dead. I believe once they give up, then they become the guys with bags on their heads. But I'll get more into that detail later. I just thought I'd bring this up, that he was different. And it's kind of to show that there are babies here, so possibly they're going with the 9 rings of hell, from that kind of philosophy. And the first time I saw this trailer, this part kind of alarmed me, where it was just where that guy was just standing there holding the torch. At first I thought it was some kind of demon, especially that part. Just kind of a random demon just peering out of the darkness. It was, but it seems these statues, I don't know if they were at once real, like the souls, but one way or the other, they still creep me out. Statues creep me out. Especially completely off topic, but the Doctor Who weeping angels. Now those freak me out the most. Those always creep me out from the first time I saw them. But okay, back to the matter at hand. Yeah, here comes a puzzle. It's simple. It's a pretty simple puzzle, but I mean, it says that the game is definitely going to be taking not just survival horror, but a puzzle solving objective. Find a way. Now we have another objective added up at the top of the screen here. It says, find missing part of the sigil, which you'll have to, and the puzzle will be, it's under find a way to possess chained demon. And this will probably be very dark on screen. Again, I apologize. And here's the thing. Here, you can see that sigil on the wall there. I'm gonna just hold it up, hold my camera up. And yeah, it seems to, rather than the game, aside from a puzzle solving element, it's definitely adding to the ambience that you have to go around this dark room searching for like a symbol, while all these statues, you're afraid they're going to come to life. That, I believe, I want this game because it's a good, and I don't know if you just heard that, but there was a screech from one of the demons. And yes, he memorized the sigil. I mean, this part would just is terrifying. The first time I watched this, I was just ready for something to pop out and rip you to pieces, or ready for some kind of one of those statues to just come to life or something. That I believe is a good use of environment and ambience. Another reason I really want this game. And notice you have to draw the symbol. Again, they're definitely emphasizing a puzzle element to the game. And there's something else going to happen here. Just pay attention to the chair right at the end of the table. I don't really know what that was. Frankly, I think it might have been just a random stray demon, or maybe a spirit that's kind of losing himself. But here's another statue. I don't know what purpose they have, or maybe it was but the fact that it says collected statues, I'm assuming it's just a collectible item that you have to look around for. Just something to add to the game and make you explore a little bit. I don't know if it's an objective. We'll know when the game comes out for that. Oh, right there. This is the part where I believe the possession comes into play. You will see here, there's the demon. He tries to sneak around, but it seems he was grabbed. He was found. And yes, possession. After he was killed that time, because he couldn't sneak around, it seems he's able to possess over here. It says he's able to possess that body. So I'm thinking death plays some kind of important role. I mean, it kind of like a game like, and here he is. The one that gave up, that was just kind of kneeling there under the statue. So it says to me that this guy is this woman, because I could see that one was a woman for various reasons. But anyway, aside from that, this one gave up, so it's basically just sitting there under this statue, just basically existing in hell. It's lost who it is, so it basically I'm guessing that's the only one you can possess. And who knows, maybe later you'll be able to possess demons or something. It says your objective is to possess the chained demon. So it says maybe later you can possess demons, or it might evolve into a combat game based on some later footage. But we'll just keep going. If I can get it to sit in my stand here. Sorry. And we'll keep going with this. We still have a bit more to talk about. And I gotta say, the ambience with these various lights and shimmers, it's kind of very, yeah, if you ever decide to check out my Let's Play series. And here we're closer to the chained demon. It looks, let me rewind that real quick. And pause it when it rears its head up. I mean, this looks more like a stereotypical demon to me. It's got the horns, it's got the gaping maw. But why is it chained up like that? You gotta wonder why this demon in particular is chained up while the other demons are running free and torturing the souls and all that. It's a question that I don't have an answer to right now. But when I get the game, when someone else gets the game, maybe we'll get the answer then. And there is another demon. It's in the shadows, but you can just barely see it. And yes, it seems to be some kind of water or liquid that you're in right now. So you kind of seen it ripple while. And look, there's just another one of those bagged souls. I'm assuming the way I assume the possession works, if you die and you have to go possess another body, I'm guessing that maybe you can't go too far from that position, or maybe if you can't find a body quick enough, you're basically it's gonna be a game over. To which it brings up the question, death might matter. I stopped earlier, I think. It goes back to death might matter in this game. Like you might have to die to proceed, kind of like a Dark Souls, or maybe a game like that where you can die a few times to figure out the opponent's moveset, and then you can find their weakness. And then maybe you can die a few times, maybe to observe. Or in this case, the player died and then possessed a body further down the line. So it might add to, you don't need to find out the enemy's pattern. Maybe if you die, you can possess one later, a couple rooms away from maybe further into the game. It adds a lot of interesting thoughts and elements that might be interesting to see how it'll turn out in the gameplay perspective. Of course, and here's yes, and more of these walls with teeth. The doorways with teeth on them, you can often see them moving and grinding like a jaw. Moving, grinding inward like a jaw. It was especially prevalent in the first gameplay trailer, or the first trailer. It was prevalent there, and you're about to see it up here, I think. Well, not with Jaws, but with a couple other things, adding to the thought that maybe they're alive, adding to the thought that the whole place is alive. But yes. And notice the way this wall is shaped. Notice how that pathway went. What's it? Yes. And this is a cinematic. Yeah, that was some kind of armed demon. I don't really know what to call it. You'll see it again later. But it seems to have just left you alone at this point. I guess maybe it was enjoying stalking you, but if you notice, the hallway changed. If you'll notice back, the hallway did change when you ran away. So maybe that says that the hallways will change at other points as well. It adds definitely to more anxiety, I guess is the word for it. And, yeah, just more hanging. And this person here is just tied there. I don't know if the demons did this. I don't know really if... Of course, being in hell, I don't know how they would die again. So I'm assuming that they'll just recover, that they'll heal, and then they'll be killed again. That's all I can assume that it's going by now. And I'm going to try and pause here. Down in the corner there, down in the left-hand corner of the screen, you can kind of see it. These are feathers. I mean, and they're just white feathers. Kind of reminds you of something a white pigeon, or maybe an angel. Maybe there's an angel down here. We don't really know yet. I don't know, maybe an angel got dragged to hell. You don't really know yet. And here you find another golden statue. Again, not sure what the statues will represent, but maybe it's just a collectible making you explore. Who knows? And we're going down deeper. During the footage, there's a... Either way. Okay, nothing really gonna happen right here. Except you'll notice that there's flies. You can kind of see them on the camera flying around. And then there's all these... And the flies hurt you. They seem to do damage. You have to wave the torch that you're holding. And seeing this guy, he's also different. He doesn't seem to have a bag over his head like the others, but at the same time he's more complete. Of course, it almost looks like his skin's liquidy. But then again, that's probably just the reflection of the light. That purplish light there. But I'm not too sure about him in general. Maybe I don't think he's important, though, like the other guy was. So we'll just keep going. I thought I would just address him real quick. But he is crying like some of the others are. And you just saw that, actually. I'm going to rewind that real quick. This is why I say it focuses on limbo, or the unbaptized and those who lack religious faith. I don't really know if this mother and child may have died during childbirth, but in the next room especially, it becomes prevalent. There are several young babies, and another mother/baby just kind of hanging out here. This mother, you can definitely see the bag over her head. So she's just another random soul. Either way, it's just something I thought I'd point out. Again, emphasizing maybe this is the first circle of hell, limbo. And there's just a couple of other bodies in the room, but they're nothing special. So, but either way. Next, it gets to the interesting parts. It's already very interesting, of course. You notice how the player throws that torch into the dark area. I mean, it's probably just looking, because you never know what's going to be around. It's emphasizing another point. You don't know really what's going to be around the next corner. Yeah, so you definitely have to be careful. And another cutscene. And you see there's these armed demons that seem to pop out. And the reason I said earlier that you wouldn't be able to go too far away from your body is because he had to get all the way down here in order to be able to possess this demon. And that's where the trailer ends. And yeah, and I think there is going to be combat later due to the fact that the demon, this image was seen through the eyes of the player. So I believe you'll be able to utilize demons and combat others. And here is another quick video done by the Kickstarter team, done by the team who's doing it. Madmind Studio. And this is very different. This is actually just like a trailer. And this seems to be a more complete, or at least other versions of more variation in the hellish environments. You'll see like this area. You'll see definitely the area you were just in during the... And there's another one of those demons. The hoofed, like, split-headed demons. That it's in... But this time it's in a forest. Oops. Hang on a sec. Sorry about that. I accidentally hit a button. I accidentally hit the circle button on... I'm watching this on PlayStation, in case I haven't mentioned that. Pretty sure I haven't. But yes, here's the area you were just in. And then there's this forest area. And then there's another enemy. At first I was thinking maybe they weren't going to go for the kind of a sexy succubus demon. Like, I thought that those hoofed, split-headed demons might have been the succubi. That they weren't, but there's this one. She looks almost human except for the tail and the horns. Of course, it says that there's more of a variety in demons. I like that they're doing that. And here we go. Here's that area that we were just in. And then there's the demon that they possess at the end of the trailer. This is, of course, these scenes are mostly from the area that the gameplay video took in. I believe the gameplay video was released just today. Of course, here is that succubus-like enemy. And you seem to be able to chase her away, though. She ran from you when you just waved a stick at her. And what I thought was originally a split-headed demon before, let me rewind that real quick. I thought it might have been a split-headed demon before, but if you notice that one up there, it seems to be a succubi enemy. Like that, I'm just calling them the succubus, of course, because, I mean, I'm guessing that's what a succubus would look like. That's what they're depicted like. So I'm going to be, at least in mythological standpoint, but I'm going to call it a succubus. When it first came out, like when I saw the first trailer months ago, I thought that, or when I saw the first gameplay footage, let me say that, months ago, I thought that the succubus, it didn't show this demon, at least as far as I remember. So I thought that maybe they were going to go for the split-headed demon being the succubus with the hooved feet. I thought, you know, anyone who's played The Witcher, the succubus have hooved feet. So that's what I thought. But with when I saw this, it was released just today, along with the gameplay. I guess being a Halloween, they got festive. Of course, we're going to continue. The next thing I'm going to point out is, again, this forest. You're in this forest. I'm assuming that this is another ring, or maybe even just a connecting area. Of course, do you see the bushes rustling? There's this serpent-like enemy. And there's the succubus demon again in a clearer standpoint. And then okay. Real quick. And there. It wasn't really combat. But I don't think an ordinary human, especially one of the emaciated bagheads that we saw, bagheaded people we saw earlier, would be able to push a demon like that off. I don't believe that would be possible. Of course, I might be wrong, but these arms look a bit too muscular and big to be an ordinary human's. Now, I'm saying, of course, we already know you could possess a demon, the one chained up, but I don't know if you could possess demons like the split-headed or the succubus. And you actually fought off that one serpent demon. And this demon here looks cross between a flower and a serpent. Almost looks like the split-headed worm from Silent Hill. And you're actually fighting this thing off. It's not like it shows you hitting. Yeah, it shows you hitting it with one of your torches. So there are going to be some demons you can probably fight off, or at least fend off against. Of course, this might be only a few and far between demons. This looks like just a regular kind of enemy that you'd fight in any game. So that's why I think as the game progresses, you're going to gain more skills to fight, or at least being able to fight certain enemies. And this is where it shows you just possessing that demon. Now, the chained demon looks very small. Small. Big. So, unless this guy here is a giant, I'm going to assume that the demon beating its skull in, I'm going to assume this demon beating his skull in is going to be slightly bigger than an ordinary human. I don't believe this is the demon that you took control of, the chained demon, as it was called. I believe that maybe you do get to possess other demons as the game goes on. You'll be able to possess other lesser demons and maybe control them for a brief time. I mean, if you could control demons forever, like all demons, that would be way too overpowered, and I don't believe that later on that would be an effective, unless you had a reason to want to possess demons later on. But that's a theory for another day. But, so, with that, I'm just going to finish this video. And yes, go over and support their Kickstarter. I'm pretty sure you can find it. I don't have the exact link on me, but yes. This has been Skate36, and I hope you have enjoyed this analysis. And I hope that there are those out there who would fund this, because it looks like it's going to be a very exceptional game and a pretty stale. I mean, you don't see too many survival horror games like that, and you definitely don't find too many that are worthwhile. So I hope you support the game, and I'm hoping that the team will finish it, and it says it's supposed to release next year. I hope that the team finishes it, and I hope that they looks like they're doing it, the series, their genre. Yeah, anyone watches my Let's Play videos, yeah, you'll know I'm bad at talking. But I'm dragging on. So definitely spread the word about the series, spread the word about the game. I mean, it definitely looks like it's going to be worth getting. So, this has been Skate36, and like, share, comment, and subscribe. Later.